Hey, what is happening, everybody? Super excited. Arthur, my man, in the house. Nice to see you, brother. All right, so we got some great stuff to do here. Hey, Townsend family, what's up? Hank, what's going on? Patrick and Sherry, nice to see you guys. Hey, Rudy, DJ, what's going on? Donna, what's up? Make sure your names, everybody, go in there and do a little rename. Make sure if you're couples, both of you are on there. We're gonna have a fun time tonight. I'm sure a whole bunch of people will be jumping in. The summertime throws some weird time frames and navigating and probably cooking for family and all that other fun stuff that happens right now as we kick into the summer months here, as we kick into the summer months. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Do me a favor, get a pen and paper ready. Get a pen and paper ready. When you got a pen and paper ready, type in boom in the chat bar. Type in boom. Hey, Danielle, what's going on? Nice to see you. Hey, Pedro, what's going on? Nice to see you. Pedro, I sent you a voice, a Facebook voice or video or something. Make sure you check that out on Facebook. Looks like we got Joe Papa coming in the house. All right. All right, let's dig in. Now that everybody's got a pen and paper. Hey, Joe Papa, nice to see you. All right, let's do it. Let's do it, everybody. So we're going to be together for roughly right around 60 minutes, 59 more minutes. And my goal is to give you a whole bunch of thinking, a whole bunch of maybe items to navigate, maybe some new actions to take, and make sure that you're starting to think a little bit different. And I know, I get it, right? AI is this super crazy buzzword that's happening today. AI this and ChatGPT, and I get it. But I think like one of the important things to think about tonight as we're going through it is not so much what it's going to do to me, what it's going to do for me. So why don't you write that down? It's not about what AI is going to do to you, it's going to do for you. And a lot of the world sees it maybe the opposite. A bunch of you have been in my world a long time, and some of you may be new. So I do have to set a little bit of a stage for some of you that are new, because why the heck should you listen to me if you don't know a little bit more about me? But our main objective this evening or morning, depending on where you're at in the world, is to discover the hidden power of AI in your life and to harness the power of AI to redefine your reality. As you probably know with trainings I've done before, this is not a, I tested my pen before. There we go. It's not a business training, okay? But it is going to change the way you perceive things and think about things. And that applies everywhere. Relationships, life, business. But we're not going to talk about marketing, sales, and operations. I think all of that becomes pretty easy once you change you, once you enhance yourself. So let's look at this here. This is the new world of AI, right? And should you fear it? But, and you guys talk to me in the chat bar. I want to make sure I'm talking with you and not at you, right? So the more you conversate in the chat bar, if we were in person, I wouldn't have you muted because we would be right there amongst each other. But since we're not in person, then I need you to talk there, because if everybody unmutes, it will just be a crap show. But a lot of people are confused by the details, right? Is anybody getting AI overload? Type in overload in the chat bar. Like, what do I use? How do I use it? Where do I go? Then there's like fear of what could happen, right, Cody? Like, oh man, like one day we'll just be, AI world will just take over us, right? So we have that. And then there's worried about your career, your industry, or your business. Like, how is that going to change? Like, what's going to be the biggest shift in my job, in my world? And maybe you're feeling a little overwhelmed by it because everywhere you turn on Facebook and social media, it's like boom, boom, all these different things. And maybe you're scared of the world, what your children will inherit. Does that type in children? Any of you got a little concern for the children of the future? I almost said children of the corn. I think that's how they're going to be. It's going to be like the kids of the corn. Remember that, whatever that was called, that creepy movie, they all lived in the cornfield. Maybe you got concern for them. And the potential, as well as the possible peril, has captured the world's attention. Like, this is the thing. It's growing by wildfire. Now, I don't know if you know this, but, and it's not meant to scare you, it's actually meant to excite you, is that Goldman Sachs predicts that 300 million jobs will be lost or degraded by artificial intelligence. 300 million. If that's like shocking, somebody say shocking in the chat bar. Like 300 million jobs will be lost or degraded. So yeah, that, you know, we could put a check mark there. It's something to think about. It's something to navigate, right? Something to navigate. But this is kind of a cool little thing here. If it's about harnessing the power of AI to redefine your reality. And others say AI will create, I always like this word, trillions. Type in trillions in the chat bar. I mean, it's going to create trillions of dollars in new wealth. I mean, you used to think billions was a lot. AI will contribute 15.7 trillion to the global economy by 2030. By 2030. Any of you that are investing inside the way you think, the way you show up, the way you're developing, you are positioned for the greatest wealth period in history. I mean, this is greater than the industrial age. I mean, we're talking in the trillions now, Brendan, the trillions. So that's pretty exciting for me right there. That's pretty exciting for me. Here's my big promise for you guys. We'll discover 7 proven steps that you could immediately implement for greater personal achievement and success. You'll understand what's going on behind the AI trend, like why it's happening and who benefits from this. You'll get the strategies that will make AI a powerful part of your success in life. And you'll learn the secret that like a lot of people are not talking about, how to put some leverage on that. And you'll discover 3 actions you need to start today, right? To take today and to start using it like a pro, but let's face it, it's going to evolve. So I don't know, you're not going to hit mastery in 60 minutes here, but we are going to make a dent. We're going to make a dent. And you guys probably, in case you're new, we always get some new people on here. I want to let you know what Food Dog is. Like, we are an organization where freedom, mastery, and legacy come to life. That's what we help with today. And excuse me. We have team members and clients all over the world, which is awesome. We got, where are you from? Type in the chat bar. Like, where's everybody from? Thank you for the blessings, Morgan. Type in the chat bar, where are you located at? And you'll see that we got people all over. Orlando, hey, Liz, nice to see you. I think we have Puerto Rico there, Virginia, Australia, South Florida, right? And we have, if you look at, not only do we have a global impact we're having, and our goal is to impact 1 million people or more in a decade or less in 100 countries or more. And we're making a lot of traction there. We're very proud of that. We also have programs and resources and tools and events and trainings and membership and a whole bunch of stuff that can help you create a life by design. Can you type in the chat bar, Kevin, life by design? The rest of you do it too. Because isn't that what all of you want? I don't know if Dwayne and Sherry are on today, but super proud of this power couple. Like, they connected closer in their marriage since being in the Food Dog world. They improved their health lowered a lot of their stress, and they found new ways to grow their wealth. And that's a big check mark in my book for people today. And here's a couple more of them. Lenita, this has given her so much more than she had expected. And this is really so you guys get to know, these are people who are not been in our world a long time ago. They're in our world today. And the insights have been transformative, which I want you to have some transformation today with this time with me. And Jason and Jennifer Kirby, like it said down here, Jason said he's a whole different person. And isn't that what we need? Like, if you don't change today, tell me what will happen. Type in the chat bar. Hey, Jeff Newman, nice to see you. What will happen if you don't change today? They used to say what, change or die, or something like that, right? I think if you're not changing, you're already feeling a sense of death in one part of your life. Like if your relationship's going bad, man, it just feels like death sometimes, right? If your health's going bad, it can feel like death. There's so many, if your wealth's going bad and you have no money, you feel like, and we want to avoid this stuff. And here's one of my biggest awakenings, just so you know, no matter what training that we do, one of my greatest awakenings is in order to scale anything in life or business, you have to scale yourself. And then you make yourself bulletproof, because if you scale yourself and don't protect yourself, well, then the people come in and try attaching onto you and taking your things. But tell me if you believe that to scale anything in life or business, you first need to scale yourself. Give me a boom in the chat bar if that makes sense. I mean, and I think it's probably coming up, this is a lot of what I learned, because this guy in the truck, okay, Lisa, this guy in the truck was one person. That's me, in case some of you are new and you're like, well, which one are you? That's also me and my beautiful wife, Jennifer, who is on here today. She says, you don't call me Jennifer, you call me Jen. So my wife, Jen, and we've been together since we're 15. So it's a pretty long time. It's, over 37 years. And that's also me. So I understand the morphing of change, as I'm sure you do too, And we grew because we made mistakes. And I want you to write this down. Mistakes are growth unless they break you. Mistakes are growth unless they break you. Otherwise, it's not a mistake. It's a growth opportunity. But if it breaks you, then that mistake feels like a living hell. So my son, I know, is on here today. That's him right there and him right there. So you guys could all type in, hey, what's up, Michael, in the chat bar. And so this just shows you, this is just to say, like, I can relate to this. And even though AI is a new thing, I want to just tell you something. There's always been a new thing. If that's true, type in true in the chat. But like, hasn't there always, Joe, been a new thing? Like, who remembers a time with no beepers, no cell phones, no nothing? Give me a boom in the chat bar, right? Nothing. And then who remembers a time of a beeper? Now, if you were in the trades at all as an electrician, or maybe, I don't know, Kevin as a mechanic, man, when you had a beeper and it was on vibrate, it went off. You thought you were getting electrocuted, right? But like, there was a time before that. There's always a new thing. So I just want to let you know what I'm teaching is how to apply those new things. Here, the only reason I was able to create that, look, I got the one great thing about my life today is I'm surrounded by high-level entrepreneurs and business owners and executives. It's just the following that we have for all these years. We have thoroughbreds in our world, and that always makes it exciting. So I'm sharing my success, but man, so many of you are successful too. But I applied the thinking more than just the AI we're going to talk about. Let's talk about the thinking. Like, it's the way of thinking different. And you're telling me you want to think different, because thinking different is what created the $32 million company with 200 employees, 165 trucks, double-digit profit. And I sold this one in 2017. Thinking different, okay? Write this down. I call it HI, human intelligence. AI could only take over the world if HI stops enhancing. If HI stops, which you are seeing, it's part of the major issue that's happening today, Joe, is that human intelligence is actually decreasing and artificial intelligence is raising. Why? Because tools make people want to do less and expand less. They just want to push a button. It's also the thinking that helped me create this company here, CEO Warrior. And if you know who CEO Warrior is, type in a boom in the chat bar. And I sold that in 2020. Why? Because if you're not changing and evolving, you're dying. It means you're staying complacent, right? You're staying complacent. All right. And I also have been able to apply this whole thinking HI part, just so you guys know, to building a pretty sizable real estate portfolio. So it was over 11 million plus, but I sold some things since then, my wife and I. And this building here should be sold. My goodness, it's taken a long time for that one, but that should be sold in, I think we're 45 days out. And this one, I heard today that we have a buyer on the table for it, right? So it's not about me having a portfolio. It's about throughout this training tonight, I want you to consider, like, how did I think about these things? How was I thinking through it? Okay. And of course, some of you know, or maybe you're new in the world, like, why should you even listen? Well, I'm applying what I'm teaching to, hey, 3 decades of relationship. That helps you learn, like, how does AI apply to that? Martial arts, 3 decades, business building, 3 decades, helping people through mind blocks, 3 decades. And now, boom, 23 books. We got books out you don't even know about yet. Like, I just got the first prototype. We got this one down here, which is you're excited about, type excited, Money Cure. That's on the bottom down here. And then we got a book, Superhuman, that's out. We got a book, Human Engineering, that's out. We got another one, I didn't even get the prototype yet, Conquering Fear. And then, of course, if you read Mind Power, type in Mind Power in the chat bar. So our goal is to bring you knowledge that can help you shift and change and win. I want you to win. I want you to transform, okay? There's a bunch of books. And we know we're knocking it out of the park because Kevin Harrington said, hey, you cracked the code. And we take that like that's a huge compliment. And Jay Abraham, highest paid consultant on earth, said, we're transforming individual enrichment from the inside out. And both of these guys have become good friends of mine. I'm super excited. It's not like, oh yeah, I'm a friend and I'm not. No, it's like, I think someone becomes a good friend when you have their cell number and you could text them in chat. That's what I think. Then you're good friends. Those of you that stay to the end, we have a cool thing for you. It's over 3,000 of AI resources, just enough to push you way over the edge. You probably won't know what the hell to do with half of it, but we do got some goodies. If you're committed to stay to the end, give me like a long boom in the chat bar. Give me a long boom in the chat bar. And this, just so you know, this masterclass is sponsored by TrueVersity. If you don't know TrueVersity, my man Joe Papa is on here. He is the founder and owner of TrueVersity. So just look for the guy in the Zoom that looks like that. Okay. He's a published author. As a matter of fact, he's got a badass book. Well, I actually have a case of them if any of you are lucky, but they're all out there now. I don't have one near me. But here's what Joe does, just so you know. Joe can, he's been able to help people understand, implement, apply, learn, and grow in the world of AI. He happens to be one of our legacy members. So if you're looking to unlock massive growth potential with AI and outpace your competition, and you want to get the expert advice you need to develop AI strategies and launch initiatives to stay ahead of the competition, well, then guess what? Let us know. We will make a one-on-one connect with you and Joe. So if you guys are all about that, type in, let's do it, Joe, in the chat bar. We'll make a connect for you guys. You might have an organization like a BNI or something. You might have something like Vistage or EO. You might have a trade organization, or you might be looking to have the competitive advantage of having somebody like Joe in your pocket. Just so you know, Joe is our expert that we leverage to help us. So Boom. Any of you need that? Thank you, Joe, for sponsoring tonight's master class. All right, we got to dig in, everybody. Strategy number one, okay? The worker is greater than the tools, okay? The worker is greater than the tools. Hey, Erica, nice to see you. Amal, what's happening? Nice to see all of you. So think about this. How much more powerful is the phone you carry today than the computer you grew up with, right? How many of you had a Commodore 64 computer? Like I only had one friend that knew how to use it, and he used to know how to make like a Pac-Man, right? They used to call him like a, electronic geek or whatever, but now he's probably a billionaire because he learned how to use the Commodore 64 back then. But do you know what's more powerful than your phone? Consider the world your grandparents lived in versus the world your children are being raised in. I mean, just look at that gap. How many of you have a mom or dad that you have to constantly be telling them how to push the button on the iPhone? Give me a laugh out loud in the chat bar. Or are you one of them? Well, maybe not, because you made it to Zoom. So normally, if you made it to Zoom, you know how to navigate a little bit. But how many of you, we just finished, well, we're close. I think we only have a couple episodes left. Anybody watch Breaking Bad at all? They got the flip phone, Joe, like the click, right? Remember those things? You kind of felt like a private investigator. You'd kind of flip that thing up and stuff. So what you want to do is think that what's been the advantage has been you that's been the advantage, and how you adopt, okay? How you adopt or how you push away what's happening today. I remember there's still business owners today that tell me, oh, yeah, I'm not on that Facebook thing. I'm not on that Facebook thing. And I'm like, okay. And then I go, well, how's business? Oh, it's horrible. Been horrible for a decade. I'm like, well, maybe because you're not on the Facebook thing. Like, what are you fighting against? Like, you don't have to talk to Aunt Millie about her effing apple pie, right? Like, but the tool is there because it's an enhancement. When I was in the field, and I know some tradespeople are here, I'm an electrician by trade. My boss, when they came out with the first screw gun, Brendan, do you remember when they came out with screw guns? Like, these things were big. And my boss had, what did they call it? A Yankee screwdriver? What is that? You push it, it goes zit, 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 like that. I think they called it a Yankee screwdriver. And he swore to me, he can beat me putting in receptacles with that screwdriver than my screw gun. And I said, okay, you do that, well, I'll do this one. I walked up, I was like, blup, blup, blup. You couldn't beat the screw gun. Are you kidding me? Until he turned around and adopted the new technology, he moved slower. He got less results. He had less, write this down, less of an advantage. How many people out there still trying to file their papers and shit in manila folders? Anybody got a mom like that? Who's got a mom? Normally it's the mom. Who's got a mom with 9 billion manila folders labeled? Anybody? With little tapes and tags? Anybody have it like that, right? Or maybe it's you and you're like, oh, F you, Mike. I love my yellow folders. So the thing that we want to look at is how the worker, you are the superpower. And every time I see somebody talking about AI, it's like they're talking about giving up the superpower. So we're not going to give up the superpower. Now, growth and scale. How many of you want to grow something? Type in grow in the chat bar. You may want to grow your connection in your relationship. You might want to grow your bank account. You might want to grow your career. You might want to grow your business, right? You want to grow. And trying to scale. Actually, I did a live video on Facebook today. I think it was on my Mike profile. I don't remember. I got 2 profiles, but you should go watch that video I did today, because trying to scale before you personally grow is like trying to ride a bicycle before you learn to walk. How many of you have tried to grow something before growing yourself and it just fell apart? Let me give you a way you'll know that. 2008. Who just had, anybody got a nervous twitch from that? Type in twitch in the chat bar. Did 2008, did it give you a twitch or something? Right? Now, people are trying to scale things before they personally grow. It's a growth game. It took me a long time to figure that out. Now, is AI creating momentum or reducing momentum? What do you guys think? Creating momentum or reducing momentum? And are you afraid of it or energized about it? Or are you neutral? Like, do you just not know what to feel right now? Do you just not know what to feel? And trying to put AI into your life without the basics is like trying to put the cart before the horse. I always share with people this, and since I coached business owners for a decade, and I'm proud to say in the last 30 plus months, we created, I think, 45 Decamillionaires, and we have a couple more Decamillionaires being created in the next, well, one's in a week or so, one's in a couple weeks, another one's in a month. I never share who it is because it's a private situation, but we'll be hitting 50 Decamillionaires in less than 3 years. It's a pretty big deal right there. But what they learned in my world, which I'm teaching you right now, is that you got to put you first before the technology, because you can only leverage the technology at the ability to leverage your own thinking and processing. Tell me if that makes sense. Give me a boom if that makes sense in the chat bar. And let me just pause there 1 second while I take a drink. And I want you to tell me something you heard that you're either going to take an action or it's resonating with you. Do that right now. Hey, Liz, nice to see you. So just sit there and go, hang on. What's resonating with me? What's an action item? Go ahead. I'm just going to like TikTok for you guys because I don't want to put music on like TikTok. The screwdriver story. Yeah, Hank, right? Grow myself first. Who else? Give me some more here. User bigger than the tool. Yes. Can you only leverage AI at the level I am at now? I need to speed up my growth. Yeah. Speed up your growth, right? Personal growth before business. Yeah, this is exactly, everybody. I'm glad you're getting that, because I'm not, there's a whole bunch of people out there, and I think all of them mean well. There's people that learn things and they teach it, but they never did it. Did you guys ever have anybody like that? Like, do you ever have somebody trying to teach you how to scale a business? They don't even own a business. I love a lot of these consultants and stuff. I'm like, you're a consultant. Yeah, I'm a business consultant. So like, how big was your business? Oh, I never grew a business. Well, how the hell could you, like, how are you consulting on a business you never grew? Like, how, there's going to be things you just cannot relate to, right? You just cannot relate to. There's a lot of skills you probably could have, but you're not going to relate to it. All right, let's go for number 3 here. I love this. This is a distinctual shift. And I hope you'll have this shift with me, everybody. Some people think of AI as replacing a task. Others don't use AI because they fear being replaced, right? Like, oh no, I'm gonna stay away from that. We like to start thinking of AI as a co-pilot. Let that settle in a minute. A co-pilot. Sit alongside me. Now, just so you know, what we're sharing with you, Liz, and all of you, we have shared a bunch of this with our team on Monday. Like, so this is nothing different here. We told our team, like, AI is your co-pilot. It's not a replacement, it's an enhancement. So how can you sit at your desk in the morning? And I think what we should do is, like, let's have a little fun here, everybody. Ready, Ray? So your co-pilot's sitting next to you. What do you want to name your co-pilot? Go ahead, Kevin. Find a fun name. Like, what's your co-pilot going to be? Is it going to be like Hutch? Wasn't that Starsky and Hutch? Is that what it's going to be? Like, name your co-pilot and put it in the chat bar. Like, what are you going to call that person? Like, it could even be a superhero. Like, oh man, my co-pilot's Iron Man. Artie, okay. Fast Eddie. Oh, there you go. Fast Eddie. Who else got a Copilot? What are you going to do? What are you going to call your Copilot? Because when you give it a name, it takes on an identity, and you'll leverage that identity. Okay, the rest of you just pick something. Pick some name. Flash. Ooh, that's a good one. Buddy. Okay. And Bob. Okay. Patrick's like, hey, buddy. I like that. Or vice versa. Mulan. Liz. There you go. Mulan. Cracker Jack. Okay. So now you gave an identity to your Copilot here. And the way people are trying to use AI is they're trying to use it for 100%. I like this. Use AI to get any task 80% done. Then add your human intelligence to complete the task and make it amazing. As much as we're in the greatest enhancement of the world, we're at the greatest dog shit of the entire world. You know what I mean by dog shit? Is I am watching the crappiest, Ray, stuff being pushed into the world that I've ever seen. It's like people are going in a machine, the machine's popping out. It's like crap with a little diamond on top, but it's 80% crap. And guess what the consequence is to that? You start producing a lot of crap, your identity and who you'll be known for as authority will be crap authority. So let's look at this as our AI Copilot, and our AI Copilot is to help enhance us, watch our back, navigate. But listen, it's a co-pilot, not the pilot. Now, if you're getting in a jet fighter, okay, you're in a jet fighter and you're getting ready. Do we have any military people on here? Type in military. We got anybody today on here? So if we get in a jet fighter in one of these stealth bombers or something, and you got two people, Hank, standing outside of it, and you go, who are you? He goes, well, I'm the pilot. And the other person says, who are you? And he goes, I'm the co-pilot. And you're going to go to war. Do you turn around and go, all right, I made a decision. I want the co-pilot to fly the mission. No, I want the pilot to fly. I want the pilot to fly the mission. And thank you for your service, anybody who posted military. So here's the deal. Write down this. I am the pilot of my life. Write it down. I am the pilot of my life. And AI is a friendly co-pilot. Okay? Hey, Madison, nice to see you. I am the pilot of my life. And AI is my friendly co-pilot. If you like that, give me a little boom in the chat bar for that. Okay? Give me a little boom in the chat bar if you like this new distinction. Because let's watch the shift that it has. The shift is, instead of trying to find a replacement, and for those of you that are not on camera, I'd love to see you if you don't mind turning on the camera. I get lonely and weirded out when I'm just talking to like a black screen. And unless you're naked. All right, if you're naked, stay naked off screen. But most of you probably are not. So come on screen. So how freeing is it to say, I'm the pilot and I'm looking for something not to drive to the destination. I'm looking for something to enhance me getting to the destination. Does this change the way you think about AI a little bit? Tell me in the chat bar. Is this shifting a little bit on how you're thinking about it? Yeah, Cody, it's a tool. But even more than a tool, it's my co-pilot. It's a friend in many senses. Now, the good thing about it is, guess what? Because of the evolution, your co-pilot friend today is probably not going to be the friend tomorrow. I just played today a video. This video was really pretty amazing. And Matt, the video I played today was an actual call that it was an AI making a call, acting like it was a Tesla rep to set up a Tesla appointment. And it was a full back and forth, Jim, conversation. Okay. I don't know about you. How many of you have employees and stuff? Type in employees or team in the chat bar, right? Okay, yeah. So imagine, tell me what will happen right now. And I hope you will. I don't want this information to go in your brain and stay in there like in a little vault. One, if you want the replay of this, so you could play these sections, just let us know. We'll give you the replay of it if you want to bring it, because every one of you should go to your team. So Ray, you should go to your team. Lisa, you should go to your team, and you should have this co-pilot talk. Now, if you do this co-pilot talk with your team and they adopt the idea because you run a culture and a world of growth and change, tell me what will happen in your life. Go ahead. Tell me in the chat bar, what will happen in your life? And it's the same thing we're using, just so you know, in our team, we're doing it. We have 17 on our Food Dog Group team. So it's the same thing we're doing. Alignment and growth, right? Higher level thinking, elevating growth. Yes, thank you, everybody. All right, strategy number 4. You were thinking too small. You're thinking too small. Now, it's not just about AI, artificial intelligence. It's about HI and human intelligence. So I want you to just think a minute, because sometimes we don't give credit for the growth we've already had, right? The growth we had. So I want you to think the last, for some of you are pretty young here, but most of us can think, let's think back 2 decades. Go back 2 decades. And some of you aren't giving credit to yourself. Like you have a career you didn't have, you enhanced your skills. Maybe you have a vehicle, maybe you didn't have one back then. You have a house, maybe you live in a different location. Who lives in a, what they would say, a better choice location of where they want to live than 20 years ago? Tell me better in the chat bar. How many of you, like, if you go back 20 years, think of where you live. Today, it's evolved. Okay, right? So when you think about this, you've already been playing the game, but the question is, and I shared it in my my video that you should go watch that I did this morning, was what a lot of people don't know about selling a company is some of the greatest depression for business owners happens the minute they sell a company. Now, it's not instantaneous. It happens a couple months after. Normally, the 1 month after, you're getting used to it. 2 months, 3 months, you're going, what do I do now? 6 months, you're going, where's all the people? Nobody loves me. I used to tell people what to do. Not even the dog wants to do what I want to do. So how can you leverage both for greater success in life? And then this is about more like who you're surrounding yourself with is the level you're thinking at. Okay? Who you surround yourself with is the level you're thinking at. I want you to think about some of your friends from high school. And how many of you have some friends from high school that you would just say, holy shit, life has thrown them one crazy ride. Like you look back and you go, oh my goodness, right? What happened to them? Anybody got friends like that, or probably just me? Vocational school friends, and none can't be around them. Okay, that's fair, right? Now, when you get around people that are running at a higher level, 2 things will happen. You'll start to run a higher level, or you'll avoid and you'll run back and seek the level you're comfortable with. True? What do you guys think? Type in true in the chat bar if you think it's true, right? When you're around higher level people, when I'm around people and we're talking about scaling companies 30, 40, 100 million, like we got a bunch of people in our world now, they're going for 100+ million or more. We got someone that's going for $1 billion by 2030. When you're around those people, the vibration is high. If you don't like that vibration, you'll seek comfort. You'll go right back to what you used to do. You'll go right back to who you used to be. All right. So number 4, stop thinking small. Now, number 5, change yourself. Now, if you want to create massive change with AI, first you need to create massive change internally. Okay? And AI is a super tool, but real transformation will always start from within, and it's how you see yourself and how that self sees AI. Okay. Now, you're probably saying, Mike, I was hoping you would give me a fancy prompt on how to get ChatGPT to spit me out a magical letter I can send to my old high school teacher. You're probably thinking I got to come for that. Well, that's useless if you're not evolved. It's useless. I'm watching people right now, right? They're like, oh, I could do that. And a lot of people, thank you, Amal, for that. A lot of people will think that I need the widget, but I'm telling you what created 2 high 8-figure businesses, sold 2 high 8-figure businesses in less than 5 years. Both of them created large empires and created massive real estate because what? If I get this, now we could talk about how to use a little widget. I love all these people that go to these widget events and I say, okay, you're a widget. You're not even an evolved human. So you're wasting time. Evolve yourself, then the widget is easy to apply. We apply AI shit we're adding different software, new software things every week we're doing. Man, we got like 6 different ones interacting and adding to our business right now. Why? 1, you got to know critical thinking. Which tool do I use? How many of you, let's be honest and let's have some fun. How many of you go to buy a TV and it takes you like 3 months of researching LED, 3D, Sony, thin, fat, large, short, long, curved? How many of you are those people? It's like, and then eventually you still don't even have the TV. Anybody? Okay, thank you for your honesty. We got a couple honest people here, right? And then, okay, bed frame. And God forbid if it's a car, oh my goodness. And how many of you have to look at 70 things on Amazon and it's still sitting in your cart? You've been researching for a week for a $20 thing or $50 thing, right? No, stop. Go back to critical thinking. Go back to evolving yourself and ask yourself, why am I thinking like this? Because otherwise you're going for this AI tool and you're hoping it's going to solve that thing, but it doesn't solve the thing. And also the other thing about AI you want to know, it's going to shift. The tool today will be changed tomorrow. Now, I like this. Every time someone's running to one thing, I ask myself a question. What's the AI tool nobody's talking about? You should write that down right now. When it comes to AI in your life and your world and what you do, I don't want to know what everyone's using. I want to know what no one's talking to everybody about right now. That's what I want to know. So that's the question I always ask people is not, hey, what do you, and everybody's got this badge of honor. It's like Think and Grow Rich. How many of you like read Think and Grow Rich? Raise your hand, right? Hands always go up. I did an event, Matt, 3,000 people. How many of you read Think and Grow Rich? They're like shooting flares. You see me? I'm like, I see you. If you're rich, leave your hand up. Boom, 99% of the hands go down. It's like today with ChatGPT. How many of you chat? Oh, look at me, look at me. Okay, how many of you don't have a life by design? You don't have freedom, financial freedom. Yeah, me. Okay, don't go for a new widget until you mastered the existing that you need to do. AI is not going to create, at least at this point, probably not going to create affection between you and your relationship that's going to help it go to the next level. All right, let me share this because we're 43 minutes in and I want to try to keep schedule. Just so you know, this is something we have coming up. I'm going to share it with you guys. Those of you that are already coming to Seekers of Power, you're already scheduled, type in Seekers in the chat bar. The rest of you that may not even know about it, we got a 3-day event coming up, September, right down here, 14th to the 16th. It's in person. It's in New Hartford, Connecticut. Okay. It is a 3-day training. There's only 65 people that can be there, and 50 of them are high-level people in my world already. So there's only 15 new people. Some of those tickets are already taken, just so you know. Here's what Seekers of Power is. If you think that you need to up-level yourself you feel like you walk around and all you do is carry shame and guilt, if you feel there's something to unlock inside of you that you have not unlocked, or you feel lost and you don't know how to find yourself, well, this is going to be a great place for you to consider. You just got to let us know you consider it. We are going to make sure you're a right fit for us and we're a right fit for you. You're going to get high level connection there. Okay. We're going to learn how to implement things and we're going to focus on transformation. All right. This is a dynamic training. We do some really cool, fun stuff. Nothing's forced on anybody. There is a couple long hours. I will be upfront with you. We start in the morning. We don't end till, probably around 10 o'clock at night. So you got to have that level of endurance. And on the third days, a little earlier. We take care of food for all the days. So you don't have to bring no food. You got to take care of your room, get your ass there. The rest of it, we will do. Who's attended any live event I ever did? Type in live and tell what's it like to be in an event. Okay, we got live. Liz, what's it like? Justin, talk about what it's like. Liz says powerful. Powerful. We got another powerful. What else? Who else on here? What's it like? Live, incredible. Ground shaking. Yeah. So if you guys are looking for that type of experience, anybody who does take one of the 15 spots, well, a couple already taken. I think there's 12 left at this point, something like that. We're also giving a bunch of bonuses there because I want this to be the most life-changing experience. That's why we call it Catalyst. Catalyst. It is the catalyst in your life. And please, those of you that are in my world, I'm not selling you. I'm not selling you. If it's a fit, you raise your hand. If not, I'm completely cool. I have decades of doing this stuff. Okay. You'll get this life package, personal energy package, and personal wealth package. Okay. So you're going to get a bunch of cool bonuses, but don't worry so much about the bonuses as much of what could it be like to invest in 3 days. And guess what? We got to love it. No worries. Love the event guarantee. If on day one, we get in the afternoon at nighttime, you're like, this sucks. It's not for me. No problem. Just give back the stuff. We'll refund the price of it. No questions asked. I've never had to do that in over a decade of running events that people invested in. But, some people just want to make sure they have a guarantee. And we will shift you. So just ask yourself, are you one of those people that's ready to go to the next level? Or are you going to be a 2008 person? You're going to wait for the next couple of years to kind of kick the shit out of you. And when we hit 2030 and I'm on here doing a master class, telling everybody, oh my God, I want to introduce you to the next 400 decamillionaires and a couple billionaires and people that are living a life by design and financial freedom. I promise you, all of you can have this. And I'm not saying this to brag, but my wife and I have been debt-free since we're 28. 28. I'm level 53 right now. What level are you? Type it in the chat bar. So I've been debt-free since 28 years old, right? By design, guys, by design. I'm going to show you how to shift yourself in a way that unlocks superhuman in you. It's going to be an amazing experience. So if you're into that, do me a favor, stay on here when we end. If you want to hear more about it, you just tell someone on my team here when all of you are going, because when you leave, when we're done with this, the majority of leave, all our freedom and mastery and legacy clients are staying behind. We're going to work another hour with them tonight. So when you go, they're going to stay, we're going to work. Any of you interested in either finding out more, you want to step forward, you want to step in, and you think there might be massive value. Now, we have some really great people. I'll be speaking. My son will be speaking. Aaron will be speaking. Firewalking Kevin will be emceeing it. And we have a couple other people speaking too. So it's going to be a game changer. All right, let's dig back into strategies here. Exponential opportunities, everybody. So we have efficiency, we have automation, decision-making, we have speed, problem-solving, accuracy, we have data analysis, right? And so what is AI yet to do and how many opportunities, right? Now, one of the biggest things I could tell you here about AI is to ask yourself, how will it affect you now? Not how will you leverage it? What are the unknowns? Now, there's upside unknowns and downside unknowns. If you're a high-level executive who works for a company, there's a good chance they're not going to need you at that level no more. But if you're someone who's investing in real estate, or investing in a portfolio of some kind, I have all kinds of things in my portfolio. Well, AI is going to optimize the shit out of that. Where you would average a 10% return, this stuff's going to start calculating 25 and 30% returns, because AI is going to have a whole new sense of communication back and forth, and you're going to have a new sense of communication on an exponential level for yourself. So opportunities will be important, but like, what's the outcome that we desire from it? This thing right now, I could tell you, is causing stress. Okay. But it also is removing stress. And when we talk about a life by design, I want you to look at your co-pilot like this. Let me give you, Cody, a strategy to think about, and you guys should bring it to your whole world. I want one domino, Madison, to flip 10 dominoes. That's what I want. I want one domino to flip 10 dominoes. Okay. Now, when I think of that way, I could say to myself, what's the tool or resource to do the flipping there? And look, I could see all your levels in there. Thanks for sharing all your levels. Man, we got some of you. I hope you're some of these guys on here, Ray and Cody and these guys, these, wow, what they're doing at where they're at that stage, at that level, holy shit. And what some of you are doing at the other. So, man, great levels, everybody. All right, let's move on from exponential. So you're the most powerful source. So let's talk about enhancing our source. I want to give you a list of some things that you need to take away, and then let me see, it's coming up. I'll give you the link for 3,000 resources that you could just consume your life away on it. But I want you to see your power in the future self, and then see the technology for what it is. Okay, see the technology. Now, I want all of you in the chat bar to tell me something. Tell me in the chat bar, 1 second, guys. Tell me in the chat bar, what's one thing that you know for a fact you have to change about you before you start leveraging these new tools? What do you think? What's one thing? Just be transparent. What's one thing you got to change about you? Okay, mindset, right? Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, mindset. Okay, what else? Fear. Yeah, okay, that's really great. And so I want you guys to think about this. AI first. I'm going to give you the action steps that you got to do. Number one, what is in your way that you must improve, change, modify, and shift today? Shame, guilt, you're still living. Someone told me, oh my God, 2008. I'm like, 2008 still bothering you? Like, it's over a decade ago. You still got a problem with 2008? And then I got another person, oh, you don't know, I was divorced. I'm like, when? He's like, 30 years ago. I'm like, 3 decades ago? You still have a problem from 3 decades? What's been going on? Like, we'll fix 3 decades of problems in the day one of something we do. Shit, we don't even need 3 days to fix 3 decades of problems, because there's a process, a system of understanding how to release and reprogram. And this is not just so you know, this is not a clap and jump and high five for 3 days. That's fun. It don't change nothing. Okay. It's not about listening to motivational stories, right? A lot of you go and you listen to a motivational story. It's fun, but motivational stories never changed anybody's life. Do you agree? Type in agree. If you disagree, fight against me. Did you ever hear a story and all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I unlocked myself, fucking everything changed. I started communicating better. I connected to my wife better. It's like this theory, Ray, of like, and I know a lot of the gurus out like date night. How many of you go on date nights? Type in date night, like date night. I don't ever want to date my wife. I'm fucking married to my wife. I don't want to date her. I dated her when I wasn't committed to her. You know what I want to go? Growth nights. growth nights. If there was something to call what my wife and I do, they're called growth nights. When we spend time together, we're looking to expand and grow together. We're not looking just to go out, eat a good meal and watch a show and go, and then go back and the same shit and problems are still there. We want growth time together. So step one, you got to make a list of these items. Step two, once you fix that, now we go, okay, what's the tool? And type in the link, Aaron, for everybody. There's a simple link you could go to. There's 3,000, I think even more than 3,000 AI tools in there. And I think they're categorized by the most used. Now, what can you do with the 3,000 tools? Well, you can only consume and get drowned by it. That's why you might want to have a conversation with Joe Papa, or maybe see if any of you don't know, and maybe somebody could put the link to Joe Papa's book in there. You should go buy Joe Papa's book tonight. Maybe you want to have a conversation with him, because I'm all about speed of implementation. Type in speed if you're like that too. Speed of implementation. I want to evolve myself, find a solution, have someone help me understand it, and put that sucker in place and put it in place. So here's the last thing for Seekers of Power. Plus, I'm going to unmute in a minute. I had a couple people that I wanted to just share a couple things here before you guys go. So first thing I wanted to share is, let me see what I have here. You know what, Ray Reyes, could I unmute you a minute?
Hey, what's up, Mike?
Hey, Ray. First off, if you could do me a favor, you've been in my world a while. If you could just tell people where you were, maybe in your business, where you were up-leveling yourself, and how up-leveling you has worked out for you. Can you do that in a minute or so for me?
Yeah. So when I met Mike, I started working with Mike maybe like 2 years ago. I had like 2 employees, and now we're at 30 employees, and we're gonna hit like 7 million this year, our 3rd year. So very fast. But it's good to be surrounded with people that have done it before, and the connections you make through the Food Dog Group are life changing, and just the mindset and those training events every time. It's just like Mike always talks about, the Hulk, like unlocking that next level and just working on shit and destroying it and just moving forward. And life by design with my marriage and my kids and my company, and then obviously, getting the wealth code, and just so much tapping into energy and the universe, and just learning it from people who have done it before is the secret, and Kevin Harrington and Mike, and all the people around them that are just so high level that you don't find other places.
Yeah, and I might have missed your age, just so everybody knows. You're level 37?
34.
Oh shit, I was ripping you off. Level 34. Everybody give them a big old boom in the chat bar. Level 34. And by taking a chance, investing in himself. And he said to me, well, this is probably a couple of years ago now. He said, Mike, just tell me what to do, I'll do it. And hopefully, Ray, that's working out pretty good, clearly for you. So honored to have you in our world. Dan Cashel, hey man, how you doing?
Fantastic, doing great.
Hey, Dan, you've been in my world for a while. Those of you that don't know Dan Cashel, he is well, first off, who's a business owner? Type in business in the chat bar. Dan runs what we call a fractional CMO company, okay? So he's our chief marketing officer, manages our marketing. He helped me at CEO Warrior for the company that I sold. And he's been in my world, not just on that, but we've been friends a long time. So Dan, what would you like to share? And you've also spoke at our events, you've attended them. What would you like to share?
Oh my God, there's so much I want to share. So how many of you know who Warren Buffett is? Like everybody, right? But do you really know Warren Buffett? Yeah, here's a question I have for you. Mike's been talking about a lot of strategy here. He's been talking about a lot of things you can do. He's talked about attending the upcoming event. And here's a question for you. What is it that's going to take you from where you are to really where you want to go? Think about that. Is it going to be doing what you've been doing? Is it going to be doing nothing? Is it going to be playing small? Is it going to be playing in fear? Because Mike made an invitation just a few minutes ago. And I'm going to be a little bit bold here for a minute because I've gotten a chance to know Mike. I've gotten a chance to know his wife. I've gotten a chance to know his kids. I've gotten a chance to know his team. I've gotten a chance to meet a lot of you as clients that are working with Food Dog Group. I watched Mike build a company from scratch to 30 million in the service business and then exit it. Then I watched him do it again with a training business and CEO Warrior and build another $30 million business. So here's the thing. If Warren Buffett knocked on your door today, because here's the thing to think about, what's holding you back right now to get to that next level? What is it that is getting in the way? Mike kind of had you pull a few things, but think about that even deeper. What's really getting in the way? Could it be a little bit of uncertainty? Could it be a little bit of fear? Could it be like, oh, what's going to happen with the economy? And there's all kinds of what ifs. But what if it could work? Because here's a key question. I asked about Warren Buffett. Most of us know of Warren Buffett, but we don't know Warren Buffett. Facts. But if Warren Buffett seriously knocked on your door today and said, hey, I need you in Connecticut tomorrow, not tonight, tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., and you're going to work with me directly, and I'm going to teach you my financial strategies, my success strategies for the next 2.5 days personally. And Warren Buffett did that. Would you find a way to get there? Would you eliminate all the obstacles? Would you eliminate all the nonsense of, oh, I don't have time. Oh, I got to do that. All the excuse-itis. The number one quality from Warren Buffett that he says that the most successful people in the world do is what? You know the answer. They do what? In themselves. They do what in themselves? Somebody type it in the chat window. They invest in themselves. The most successful people do that. And you know what? Here's the truth. And I mean this with love and respect. I've been doing this for 30 some years. Mike is the real deal. Front stage, backstage, which is incredibly rare. There's a handful of people I've ever met in doing this for 30 some years that are congruent the way Mike and his family and so on. And if you're just new to this world, you don't know. And I get it. And so I'm going to do something here that Mike's not asked me to do, but I believe so much in what Mike, Jennifer, their entire team and Food Dog stands for. And I know what it could mean to you. If you're on the fence, maybe you're a little uncertain, you're just meeting him recently. You've never been to an event like this with Mike and his team. And I will say, I mean, Hank's video, if you haven't seen Hank's video where he talks about being with the most successful people and, you know, this takes the cake. And it's true. And it's hard to believe that when you're new and you don't know. So I want to eliminate all doubt. Because here's the facts. Warren Buffett ain't knocking on your door. But Food Dog Group is. And I'm going to eliminate all the risk myself, even though they do it too. I don't know you, but I know of you. If you're looking to get to that next level and you're willing to do what the most successful people do, and that's invest a little bit in yourself, I'll eliminate the risk myself. Mike's not asked me to do this, but I'm that convinced in what Mike does. And I know what kind of a transformation will make in your life, your family. Mike is not just helping people transform. He's saving lives. He's saving marriages. He's saving people's health. He's saving people's mental health, their kids, relationships, finances, and more. Now you just need to decide, like, what if you don't do this? Really? See, if you don't take the step to work with someone like Mike, and specifically Mike and Food Dog Group, and Aaron, and Michael, and Jen, and all the incredible members that are a part of the community, you get to, it's like popcorn, the tide rises all the boats. What if you don't do it? Where are you going to be in 6 months? Where are you going to be in another year when the economy ultimately does decline? You think you're going to be further ahead if you do nothing? You read it out of a book. Mike brought up Think and Grow Rich a little bit ago. So here's the deal. If you go to this event and you make a commitment because you're here right now as a result of this training you're seeing in this moment, and you make the jump and commitment, and you just find a way. If you attend that event and by the second day you don't feel it's worth 10 times what you paid, you let their staff know, and I will personally refund your money, and I will personally refund your travel expenses to get out there up to $1,500. We don't know each other, but I believe I know you. I want to eliminate every possible risk because Warren Buffett ain't knocking on the door. And yes, there are a lot of distractions in the world. Mike's alluded to a lot of those today. And if we can help you move from just this step one to just believe in yourself, to invest in yourself, to realize, you know what? Like, what if you could be like some of the people that you've heard about, that you've seen, that you're here with right now, and you could go from a life maybe of accident to one that's more strategic, designed mentally, physically, socially, spiritually, emotionally, and financially? What'd that be worth to you? And where could you be in the next 3 months, 6 months, 12 months to get ahead of the curve, to take advantage of human intelligence with AI? And like, what could it do for you? Well, that happens with action, doesn't it? What's the cost of not doing it? See, if we look forward in a year, if you don't do this, I mean, again, with love and respect, well, let's look at it this way. Where were you a year ago compared to today? Many people are probably in about the same place. So if we keep doing the thing we've always done, we'll keep getting the thing we've always got. I would not, I know Mike wouldn't want me to do this, and probably is like, oh, I can't believe you're doing this. But here's the deal. Most people are not going to have a chance to meet Warren Buffett tomorrow. But when's the last time you met somebody who built 230 million plus companies that's helped hundreds of people become millionaires and then many more decamillionaires? And he's saying, hey, I'm going to show you, and our team is going to show you the secrets that we've learned doing this over time for freedom, relationships, health, wealth, and a whole lot more. That's my commitment to you. So, Mike, that's what I got to say. I know that's probably more than you're like, oh my God. But anyway.
No, that's great. I had no idea you were gonna do that. So yeah, thank you, Dan. So
You're welcome.
yeah. All right. So everybody, here's what we're gonna do now. You got the ears of people, you got a new thinking about AI. In the meantime, those of you that are new in our world, make sure you're connected to me either way. Of course, if you need a widget, a tool, that's the easy part. Okay. The part that takes skill and strategy is the shifting you part. That's the part we want to do over 3 days at Seekers of Power. Like I said, and I know a lot of people, this is not one of those bullshit marketing things, everyone. It's not like you show up and there's 100 people. Only 65 people can go here because I don't know if I have a picture to show you. Then I'm going to hand it over to my team because I have a financial advisor sitting on my porch right now. I got to go sign some paperwork real quick. My wife's got a pen ready, but like we're holding it here, everybody. So can't be 100 people, can't fit 100 there. It's 65 people. Once it's 65, close shut. Yeah, this is amazing in the middle of the woods. It's called Secrets of Power for a reason. Okay, I appreciate, love all of you. Hey, Freedom Tribe, Mastery, and Legacy, please don't go anywhere. I'm going to hand it over to my man and Jen and I's business partner, Aaron. He's going to talk you through next step. He's going to throw you guys and get you prepared on some things. Everyone else will be back in a couple minutes. The rest of you, if you're interested, you could either go to the link right there, and there's you could fill out to have a conversation with us, or you could tag the team. Aaron, I'm going to hand it over to you, man. Boom.